Bravo. This is W1GTH Bob and Walcott, and okay, Joe, you got your hands full there. I was just going to ask, last week somebody gave me a frequency reading, and the figure was about 500 cycles high. So you're wondering if somebody like maybe Al or somebody who has all I got here is a handheld radio frequency counter. So if somebody can tell me where I am on the frequency, I might be able to bring it a little bit closer in. But anyhow, back to you, Joe. N1VIV, this W1GTH.
There you go. I got a different reading, but I passed. Okay, well, lots of SDR availability out there, but it sounds like Perry had a reading, and Al has one as well. So yeah, that's the beauty of having that SDR capability. None of that here. I actually switched around some receivers this week, so I'll share a little more about that as we go along. So I heard Perry in there. Good morning to you, Perry. And then there was the station right after Perry that I did not get because there was a double there. Let me give a listen. Hey, good morning, Jerry. U1ZB, okay. We've got... Excellent. Let's see. All right, I think it goes down from at least that scratched out here down to Bruce. On the Eastern Shore. I wonder, unless you made a move, Bruce. I don't know if you made a move yet. I know you're talking about that. Well, let's find out. WX10. This is N1VIV.
Good morning, Joe. Stand by. Let me tune up here. I think. Let's see. Okay. 1 second. Okay, that's better. All right. No, we're still in the Eastern Shore, and we're planning to move this coming week. So we're looking forward to it. Hope everything goes smoothly and hope the weather cooperates. Back to you, Joe. N1VIV, WX10.
Yeah, okay, very good. Excellent. Well, hopefully that'll all go smoothly, and you'll be back in Vermont probably just in time to, have, band conditions are probably going to continue to be a little bit more challenging. It was interesting that I was looking at the differences in what Al had mentioned, that Greg was not too strong to him, but Greg was like super strong here. So it's kind of one of those mornings where we're going to have very, very different signal strength readings depending on where you're transmitting from and where you're listening, which is kind of generally true, but maybe more pronounced on mornings like today. So let's get it over to Gary for PreNet comes K1IC, and the PreNet, this is N1VIV.
Okay. Good morning, all. Joe, I'm not going to be able to stick in here. We're doing a trip today to Pennsylvania and back, and we were supposed to go yesterday, but my sister and I wasn't feeling well, so we're going to be doing that this morning, and I'm going to be taking off here in a little while, so I just wanted to check in, say hello. Things are fine here, and wish everybody well, stay safe, and we'll talk to you next week, perhaps. Actually, next week I have to drive my wife to the airport, so I don't know exactly whether I'm going to be on. But, big attention on 160. This is K1IC 73.
Okay, Gary, no problem. Well, nice to hear you in there. Safe travels down to Pennsylvania. Hope that goes smooth. May there be little traffic for you to Cucumber. Very good. And I think I heard somebody kind of come in there, so I'll give it another listen. This is N1VIV. All right, well, nothing heard. So over to Steve. Good morning to you, Steve. K2FW, and then you can send it to Perry, W3MMR. And I guess if there's time, over to Jerry, W1ZB. This is N1VIV.
Okay, very good. And I see I'm just a smidge high. Not that anyone will notice on AM. Should be pretty close now. Yeah, good morning, everyone. And boy, some guys are coming in really, really strong, and then others are a little on the weak side. But hey, it's practically the middle of June now, and it's about what we can expect with propagation. So let me say hi to everyone. Bob, I glad you liked that article, and I did receive your comments, and they're spot on, as almost always. So I just wanted to comment on that, and again say hi to everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. And I just heard that Gary has left, so I guess I moved up a little bit in the rotation. So let me get it over to Mr. Perry. I think we still have something like 7 or 8 minutes before the net starts. Over to you, Perry. K2 Fuzzy Wuzzy in southern New Jersey, and it's just about 66 degrees. The humidity's down for a change, and very, very nice. You, Perry.
Charlie.
Joe, and good morning to the gang. Good morning, Gary. 7-3 to Gary. Have a great day. And hi to Steve. Steve, you're bombing in here. Joe, you're very strong. I guess the absorption hasn't hit. The band kind of went long a little late this morning, it seemed like. Hell, I didn't get up till 6:30, which is late for me. I've been sleeping in because work's been real busy, and now it's starting to heat up out there, and so I've been sleeping until 6:30 or so, and not getting only getting on for about a half hour in the mornings, get on sideband with my father, and then get ready to go to the old salt mine there. So got to mow the grass today. It's currently 71 degrees here, and I lost my 10-meter Yagi in the storms this week. We had a derecho roll through with 80-plus mile-an-hour winds, and I caught it on caught the storm, some video of the storm on YouTube. I put it on my YouTube channel, the AM window there, and the storm that actually destroyed my Yagi. And then I went out there to film another storm that was coming in later that day. And as I'm filming it, I turn around and I catch my reaction on camera of me seeing my Yagi for the first time. The whole right side of it was wiped out. A 4-element, it's a Syria 4-element 10-meter Yagi, and half the elements got completely destroyed there. So that's got to come down this week. And like I said, got to mow the grass today. But we'll keep it moving here. We'll send it over to you, Jerry. 7:54. And in the morning here, and almost 7:55. So over to you, Jerry. W1ZB, and then I guess Jerry will turn it to Bud, if that's the way it goes there, Joe. If not, you can interject. W1ZB in the AM carrier prenet. This is W3MMR.
Hey, Perry. Those storms, they were really, really wicked here too. I am very, very fortunate. Sorry to hear about your Yagi.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Yeah, okay, Terry, W3MMR, this is W1ZB. Yeah, it's never good when you lose an antenna to weather. So sorry you have to go and fix it, and hopefully that won't happen. But boy, the storm's coming through at violent. So anyway, it's 61 degrees here, and it's stay in the 60s all day. So it should be a pleasant day if there's no showers. And maybe we'll be doing some grass mowing ourselves. Anyway, testing out the Gonset GSC-100 this morning using an amplifier. So working through one or two remaining problems that it has, and hopefully maybe our main AM rig is a better sideband rig. And I've had it on the vintage sideband there a couple of times, but I think all the sideband issues have been addressed. So that's probably where we're going to operate it the most. So anyway, over to you, Bud. K1LC. This is W1ZB.
Good morning, everyone on the net. This is K1LC, 15 miles southeast of Boston. It's kind of a cloudy day here, and it's going to be in the 60s. But off and on rain. Other than that, not much else going on. I tried to check in earlier. Problem with my roof antenna was faulting out my cascade. Inverted dish at home. So I'm not sure I should turn it over to. By the way, the Gonset is sounding fine here. I think I'll turn it to Joe, I guess. I have no idea because I just was busy trying to figure out what was going on with the roof antenna. So whoever should take it, please pick it up.
Yeah, very good. Well, good morning, K1LC and the AM carrier pre-now. This is N1VIV. Looks like we've got just about a minute and a half, so very good. Yeah, I think it's hard to tell with the way conditions are variable today, but I think you said you're on a different antenna, and you are a little bit lighter here, Bud, than I usually hear you, but that may just be conditions as well, so no trouble at all. Well, we've got just about a minute before we get rolling here, so this is N1VIV. We've got very bright sunshine here right now, so it seems like everybody's got a little bit different conditions in the sky, but boy, the sun is very brilliant, very clear right here right now. When I was looking out the back door and making a cup of coffee, getting things going, and it's about 58 degrees here, so I guess maybe a little cooler because we're close to the water, to the ocean. Breeze maybe cooling it off. Well, before we get rolling here, we've got just about half a minute. I wanted to, I made myself a note at the top of my little tracking sheet here, index card thing to make a mention to thank both Al and Terry for their help. Al, I believe 2 weeks ago, you jumped in when I had major relay problems here, and had some struggles getting the net going. And Terry, again, thank you for... I had a chance to visit the AM window and listen to parts of a few previous nets, and certainly quite a nice presentation of the net on your YouTube channel. So, again, very grateful thanks to both Al and Terry for their help and efforts. Very good, and much appreciated for sure. Let's see. It is 8 o'clock, so good morning, everybody. Welcome to the AM Carrier Net. My name is Joe. My call is N1VIV, and I'm located in Stonington, Connecticut. The AM Carrier Net meets every Sunday morning here at 8 a.m. local time on 3835 on the 75-meter band. The AM Carrier Net was established for the purpose of promoting and enjoying operations in the AM mode. It's a casual net, so there's no requirement to check in other than being able to operate in the AM mode. We certainly like to hear from new stations who are maybe just beginning to explore interest in operating AM, whether you're trying to resurrect an old boat anchor or maybe trying to get a more modern radio to sound good. In either case, there's lots of folks on frequency on a weekly basis who may be able to help with that. So we've got a pretty great pre-net assembly here, and so I think we've got a good accounting of everybody. There may have been there was quite a bit of doubling in that mid pre-net activity, so I guess I'll take 1 minute and I'll just go through and give suffixes just to let folks know who I have on the list here, and then if I miss somebody for whatever reason, just check in at the appropriate time. So I've got Jim up at the top of the list, MER, then Jeff, and this is not the official rotation, so folks don't need to write it down. I'll go slowly through later on. Jim, MER, Jeff, RAS, Andy, CDL, Al, VCP, Greg, KE1MI, Bob, DTH, Bruce, WX10, Gary, who's checked in and out. Let's see, Steve, K2FW, Perry, MMR, Jerry, ZB, and Bud, K1LC. So that's just to kind of account. If there was somebody else in there and we didn't get you, then certainly check in at the appropriate time. So, and of course I'll go through the full list at a reasonable pace to have everybody lined up here for round one. So let's take check-ins. Any stations anywhere for the AM Carrier Net, please call now. This is N1VIV.
W1 Hotel Alpha Foxtrot.
Okay, so we had Bill up there in Connecticut. Very good. Good morning to you, Bill. K81SH. We've got Harrison. I believe I've got that. Water from Connecticut. Good morning to you, Harrison. W1HAF. And then I believe I heard Steve, KB2NQN in there. Kind of light, but I was hearing you, Steve. And then I'm not sure if there was a double right at the beginning there, but we'll see. So I've got Bill, SH, Harrison, HAF, and Steve, NQN. Any other check-ins, any other stations anywhere, please call now. This is N1VIV. Well, nothing else heard there. This is a few folks that are conspicuously absent, but no problem. So we'll maybe have some of those midpoint check-ins along the way. Sure. But let's give another listen just in case. Any other stations anywhere for the net, please call now. This is N1VIV. Nothing else heard, so we'll line things up here for round one. And let me get a sip of coffee here. And then we'll get things rolling. 8:04, so that's not so bad. So I'll get things started with some comments, and then I'm going to send it over to Jeff. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not. Put Jim up at the top of this. So I'm going to get things started with some comments, N1VIV, and then I'm going to send it over to Jim, WA2MER. WA2MER, we'll send it to Jeff, WA2RAS. WA2RAS, we'll send it to WA2CDL. Andy down there. WA2CDL, we'll send it to Al. W1VTP. W1VTP, we'll send it to Greg. KE1MI. And KE1MI, we'll send it to Bob. W1GTH. W1GTH, we'll send it to Bruce. WX10, and they're in Maryland. I'll just acknowledge that Gary was in here, but he won't be in the round 1 rotation. So WX, that would be K1IC, but Gary is checked in and out. So WX10, you'll send it to Steve, K2FW. And K2FW would send it to Perry, W3MMR. W3MMR, we'll send it to Jerry, W1ZB in Hanover, and W1ZB would send it to Bud, K1LC, just southwest of Boston. K1LC would send it to Bill, KD1S8, and KD1S8 will send it to Harrison, W1HAF. W1HAF would send it to Steve, KD2NQN. And Steve, if there's any other check-ins, we're going to tack them in after you. And if not, it'll come back up to the top of the list for me, and we'll take a shot at round 2. So those are round 1 rotations. Let's see. What's going on here? Yeah, I kind of gave a little bit of an update on the weather. Very bright sunshine here for now. I imagine, based on what other folks are reporting, maybe there'll be some changes and more showers and stuff. I'm really hoping if we get a good 3 or 4 hours of bright sunshine, they'll dry out the grass. I've got some grass to cut, so and I've got one section along that I didn't get to earlier today. I'm probably going to cut it without the bagger and suck up the clippings on a second run or something. It's really getting quite high, so we've got to get that done and probably get some other outside work accomplished, and probably do some other outdoor stuff. Hopefully, if it continues to be nice. So, just on a quick shack update here, for this operating position for quite a while, I had been using the Hammerland HQ110, but I was getting some interference from a local broadcast station on 160 from time to time, and so I figured I was thinking about getting some maybe some filtering or something to reduce that symptom, but in the meantime I decided to move my Hammerland HQ129X over into this operating position. So I'm listening on the Hammerland HQ129X this morning and transmitting on the homebrew rig and through the TL922 linear amplifier. So that's the rundown. So instead of putting the HQ110 in the other operating position, I decided to pull out the old BC348Q, which is an AC-powered BC348 receiver. It's the typical pair that went with the AR213, and I've been listening on that quite a bit, and it's actually not a bad receiver at all. And it's really, really broad, so not much selectivity if you're doing CW and things of that nature, but that's kind of a neat receiver that I've got back out and into an operating position. So that's kind of fun. I'm messing around with that this week a little bit. So those are my round 1 comments. Let's get it on down the list. Over to you, Jim. WA2MER. and the AM carrier net. This is N1VIV.
Yeah, good morning, Joe. N1VIV in the group. This is WA2MER. Good morning to everybody. Yeah, it's good. So I'm getting good signals everywhere, pretty much. I didn't hear NQN. I don't know if I just missed him checking in. I generally do hear him, though, because good morning, Steve, and Andy as well. Andy, you were a little bit light, but like I said earlier, I heard you fine on the pre-net, so hopefully conditions will have maintained. Anyway, running the ICOM Pro 2 this morning. Was a little lazy to fire up the Millen station. I'll probably go up this evening on the AWA net. So, but we're running around in CL7, my usual 200. Well, I'm down to 200 watts right now. I haven't. But 200, 250 doesn't matter. Makes no difference at all unless you're measuring in the lab. And it's kind of funny. I don't know who Bob GTH. I don't know who told you were 500 hertz high. Which if you're high, you're high, right? I mean, 500 hertz. But it's kind of funny on AM. Now that we have all the sophisticated equipment that can take these measurements, all of a sudden it matters. It wasn't all that long ago it didn't matter. On AM at least anyway, certainly sideband and CW, big deal, but on AM, who notices, right? So, but the ART13 sounds good as always. And Joe, you kind of reminded me the grass needs a cut in here as well. It's did it a week and a half ago, and it's almost as tall as me. So I know we got a lot of rain and had some good, obviously some good growing weather. Not going to go into a lot of detail about my AM transmitter, but the build continues, and it keeps progressing to my satisfaction. I'm hoping, I kind of set, I'm not saying I set a goal, but I have an expectation that if things continue with this pace, I expect that it will be in regular service by Labor Day. There's a lot to do on it as far as, tuning things up and optimizing it and doing all the interconnections and making it final, but I'm hoping that by Labor Day, I get it all done. I had originally projected by the end of the year, but that might be accelerated a little bit. And I did make a deal with a friend on an NC300. I have no place to put it on the shack here. I did have an NC300 years ago that I bought from Howie WF2Q, and it was a really nice receiver. But I ended up letting it go, and I had an opportunity to pick up another one. So I'm trading an old HRO for that. And like I said, it's gonna, it'll go in the closet for now, but I'll find a place to get it into the rotation. And the only other thing is that my 64 Buick had a carburetor problem again. It recurred. It was the same problem I'd had a few months ago. I ended up sending the carburetor out to a respected rebuilder on Long Island, so I'm hoping in a couple of weeks to put that back, get the Buick on the road. So that's it. And by the way, Joe, and the rest of the net who indulges me in getting up near the top of the list, just for those who may not be aware, until our church reopens, we're doing services online. It's 9 o'clock on Sunday, and you never know how close to 9 o'clock I'm going to get with when my turn comes around to the net. Our normal thing is to do Mass on Saturday evenings at 5 o'clock, so that almost never interferes with the net, but that's kind of why I've been asking to go near the top of the list. And again, I thank everybody for that. So now all I can say to you is, you must have an incredibly strong masochistic streak to be the herder of the cat on the pre-net. Okay, whatever they're paying you, it's not enough. Okay, and I'll leave it at that. Happy birthday, Jeff. WA2RAS again. WA2MER. Okay, thank you, Jim. WA2MER, and then that's WA2RAS. Okay, well, I noticed my wife keeps moving, and either someone is testing the electric chair right now, or my wife is using this hair dryer upstairs. I do notice that my line voltage is dropping, so it very well be affecting my power here. I'm sure. This morning and listening to everybody on a wonderful Hallicrafters FX 111, and it is my birthday today. Well, that was the lights. I'm not really good. I'm 75, and I started
a second machine that I had bought from the big Hal auction. And so now that's done. That one has 40 meter coils in it. The one that I use has 80 meter coils on it. And my first HF transmitter, AM transmitter, was a Viking 2. Not this particular one. Which I used with a heat-sink SP10 sideband adapter. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Lots of strong signals today. Lots of QSP also. Steve, K12W is 40 over here. And let's see, Friday. There's a lot stronger than usual here. But as I say, a lot of really, really strong signals here. John, you're 20 over, for example. Anyway, this will be my only transmission. So, Terry, sorry to hear that you lost the Yagi and the winds there. But we've also had very high winds like a couple of weeks ago. Terrible. I'm sorry to hear that. Anyway, I'll be listening out for the entire first round. Let me turn it over to my good friend Andy, who was so helpful to me yesterday. Thank you so much, Andy. And we'll have that on next week, God willing. So here it comes. WA2 CDO, and the net WA2 RAS. Let me clear my throat here. WA2 RAS. I hope everyone copies me with my I'm listening on the KCFDS website. Everyone will go to it. Beautiful day today here on Long Island. And yes, happy birthday to you. Up in 76th birthday, and good day good. Another milestone for another birthday. Okay. Well, there's a lot to tell, but I'm going to wait until I get my big audio much better, my signal much stronger, then I'll go into some technical aspects of the things that I do. I have a lot of stuff. One of the projects that I'm working on is a remote control coaxial control for my cell phone. The phone that I carry with me all the time. And I'm using an Arduino microcontroller. So I'll talk about that as a project as I build things up. I enjoy building one of the things that I started with one of my other work I have quite a few. So maybe we can have a there's a technical message on Sunday. About radio. By the way, of the things that I've been doing, and I still do, is participating in we've been transferring years, and I've built up over the years many different types of loop antennas and other paraphernalia for tracking down the transmitter. I'm doing it in the in fact, I own a very rare
Bye-bye.
Okay, well, good morning to everyone. Just sitting here, those who are sitting in the, not the plastic seat, the one that's just sitting inside of here. We have bird feeders outside, just outside the window for those who's entertainment. And I guess it's sad. And all kinds of giveaways. The mainly water stagnant and it comes up to the middle of the field, that is something. We got all kinds of entertainment here this morning. Somebody mentioned something about line voltage and so forth. There's an outfit called Cyber Power that OPS, the top analysts, and these units they're particularly popular with all of the 90% completely regulated line voltage for line units. Protects you against all, also regulates the voltage such that if you've got some brownouts type of thing going on, it will switch over to the protection mode and completely regulate off the battery. And I mean, this will be good for your exciter and maybe your receiver if it's not something humongous and that sort of thing. But it works quite well. I like it very much. I've had a few brownouts, sometimes momentary blackouts, and you don't even know anything's happening because it just takes over. And happy birthday to Jeff, VOA2RAS. Certainly is a milestone, no matter what the age is. Of course, you can always say, like a well-known comedian, that you're 38 in a few months. that'll work. So you don't have to give the actual biological age. You just you say 38 in a few months. Oh, here's a bird. I'm just checking out the bird feeder. There's nothing there. Oh, there's a little bit. Other than that, let's see. I don't know why I wrote this down, but I received my license in 1952, and I was 15. Somebody said they were 15 years old when they got their license. I forget who it was. That makes me having a ham ticket for 68 years. I think that's pretty cool. I think I'm going to celebrate when I turn 70. I think I'm going to change my age from when I got my ticket instead of my biological birth, and that'll make me feel younger, I'm sure. So, and Jim, if you're still listening, I did not miss your comment there. I'm a masochist, I think. I think that's what the problem is. We see pleasure from pain. Anyway, that's that. I'm going to go across the room, and if there is a second round, I'll be available, but it might take me a little while to get out of my rocket launcher chair and get over here and take the position and hold the microphone. I'm looking at the estimator. I'm not putting in a very remarkable signal into Pennsylvania. Must have dropped the station, huh? Not that does any good or not. What do you think about Class E? Nothing about it. Oh, Bob says, good morning to you. I don't know if you're still here or not. Typically, Bud gets off after the first round. But maybe he's still here. That'd be a good thing. Anyway, I'm supposed to terminate it to Greg, KE1MI, and Greg, I'll take note of your signal on the Pennsylvania station. I bet it's going to be pretty good. Where's the 80? You got your right on the Tuesday. KE1MI.
KG2IR.
Yeah, good morning, Nick. Let me make sure I've got it here for a second. Yeah, okay. Let's get Nick in here. KG2IR. Good morning. So, Steve, KB2NQN. You're going to send it over to Nick. KG2IR. And then Nick is going to be able to check in and pack them in after you, and if not, it'll come back up to me at the end of round one, but that's still a ways down the list. We've got a really good turnout. I'll make a count at some point. So let's see. It's over to Greg. KE1MI in Royal Canada. Then 1V Isaac. Yeah, okay, Bill.
morning, all. And yeah, okay. I also lost Andy, and Jeff is always a little weak here, but and I had the same situation. Some sidebander that didn't think we were on the net here, kind of popped in there, but so far so good. So okay, and I want to say happy birthday to Jeff, and if he's hearing me, and good morning, Lucy. So, Joe, welcome to the BC 348 organization here, and mine is a Q model, and the same one that I had when it got me interested in this hobby back in maybe when I was 13 years old, and back in the 1940s, and so mine actually has the original dynamotor in it, and because he takes quite a bit of to start spinning a dynamotor, I had to actually put 120,000 microfarad cap in parallel with the 24-volt supply to get the dynamotor kicked over. Now I have a rocker switch on the side of the shelving here, and so what I do is I turn the power on and then wait a couple seconds and then keep that micro switch in, give the cap time to charge up, and then turn the BC 348 on, and it works. It's been working like that for quite a while. So okay, I was actually bounce around here a little bit. I was actually able to get a haircut this week. The first one in about at least 3 months, I guess, and so it felt kind of good. And the gyms are going to be opening up here in Connecticut on the 17th, I believe, and I've been going to a gym for a lot of years, and so this has been a 3-month layoff, and I'm not looking forward to going back again, but it's kind of in my blood, and so I'm going to attempt it anyway. So I think that as far as the lawn mowing goes, I went out yesterday and I got an old Sears riding mower and actually did some lawnmower repair or small engine repair after I retired. I was a tool and die maker, but I did some of that just for ha-has after I retired, and got an old Sears mower here, and it has problems with the carburetor. And what happens is if you I actually mounted a shut-off switch in the line, a manual shut-off switch. I tried a couple of electronic switches that would turn off when I shut the key off, but that didn't work. So I put a manual switch on there, and what happens is if I don't shut that completely tightly off, that the gas will leak into the carburetor, and the carburetor will actually allow the gas to go into the cylinder head and then actually down into the crankcase, and that's what happened with me yesterday. So long story short, I had to drain all of the oil out of there. You know, I had to pull a spark plug out and blow that gas that was in the cylinder head out of there, and make sure that the spark plug wire wasn't anywhere near the gas, because I didn't want a fire. So blow that out of there, and then drain all of the oil that was in the crankcase out and replenish that with new oil. So quite a deal just getting the lawnmower running. But anyhow, what I do now is I shut that switch, that manual switch off in the gas line until the engine runs out of gas completely, so that I know that that switch is working properly, and so when I go out, back out, I'll have to turn that manual switch back on again, in line again, and wait for a minute or so until it gets to the carburetor, and so that's my tale of woe. But anyhow, Joe, I'll be one and done this morning. I got to run over to my daughter's, and but I'll be listening out, and let me see. I'm looking at my Radio Shack handheld meter here, and it's this is a problem. It bounces around. At one time it says 38, 34. But as soon as I modulate it, it jumps all over the place. So anyway, while I'm listening out, if anybody wants to give me a rerun on where I am, I think I'm close enough on AM as Jim said. So I'm going to turn this over to I believe it's Bruce, WX10, and the W1GTH. Catch you guys next week. WX10, take it away.
1A left.
Okay. All right, Bob. Well, I measured you at 33.8, 33.8, and I didn't do the measuring. That was SDR from K3FEF. Well, good morning to everyone, and Bob, I feel your frustrations with the lawnmower. I have a small push mower to do the trim work, and every time I get it going, I have to give it a shot of engine starter. That means take the plug out, squirt some stuff in, put the plug back in, give it a tug, and she starts up. But without that little bit of help, I'll be pulling on it a long time. Happy birthday to Jeff, WA2RAS. Hope you have many more, and hope you celebrate the day accordingly. So here we are on the eastern shore of Maryland, and I think this coming week is when we're going to make a dash for Vermont. We've been watching closely the orders from the governor, and which have been confusing, and they in conflict frequently with the Vermont Department of Health. But nevertheless, we are going to give it a shot, and so our next contact will likely be from Middleborough, which will be very nice. I understand that the weather's been quite warm up there. We have no air conditioning at that QTH, but we've always managed to date, so I think we'll be fine. Yesterday, I launched I gave it a taxi down the runway of the Johnson Thunderbolt. I finally got to the point where I turned the power on, checked all the meters, all the voltages and everything was put fine. I made a brief contact, but I'm going to attempt to run that on the AWA PMAM net this afternoon. So we'll see how that goes. I was going to use it this morning, but noticed there was no high voltage. So I checked the fuses in the rig, and the prior owner apparently decided to substitute a 10 amp fuse with a 4 amp fuse. Well, there you go. You're not going to get any power because that 4 amp just cooked. So I think I replaced it with a 10 amp fuse, and I think we're good to go this afternoon, but we will see. It'll be a trial flight like the Wright brothers. Hi. Okay, guys, this is one time only for me. I've got to get out in the yard and help my wife. The temperatures have moderated. They're not specifically cool, but they're good enough to get outside. So we will look forward to talking with you guys next week from a different location. So over to Steve, K2FW from WX10.
Can I grab it real quick?
JCC.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, I heard Rob check in there. So Nick will have to turn it over to Rob. Am I right there, Joe?
Yeah, KG2AR would send it to N1ALF, and then there was at least one other check-in in there. I got the stuff at JCC. Get the rest of it.
WB2 JCC. Go brain.
Okay, WB2 JCC. I think we've had you in here before, but I'm drawing a blank. Bob, take a look. I know from Robin when they elected to WB2 JCC, and then in addition check-in, WB2 JCC would catch me after you. If not, it'll come back with you for the top of the list in the bell at round 2. So that makes Nick was Rob was 18 as opposed to 19 check-ins. Wow, pretty amazing. Okay, well, I'm here to run interference as we go, but it would be Nick, and then N1ALF, and then WB2JTC, KLN. Let's see, over to you, Steve. K2FW, the AM carrier, N1DI.
Roger, Roger. Very good. Let me just touch up the tuning here for a second, and then we'll get going. Won't make this too long. Lots of big crowd in here today. Alrighty, good enough. That should work okay. Good morning to everyone. Nick, good to hear you. It's been a long time. And before I forget, if Jeff is still listening, a very warm, happy birthday to Jeff. He's a very, very good guy. Very, very good guy. Not a lot going on here. It's about 70 degrees. Very, very sunny weather. Perry had mentioned his Yagi antenna. I'm really sorry to hear about that, Perry. I assume that happened on Wednesday. We had the one storm come early, and then the later storm was very, very, very vicious here. Super high winds. I don't know what they got up to, but they were close to hurricane force winds and tons of lightning and rain just going sideways. I know there's been a lot of trees around this area pulled out of the ground, exposing the roots and everything. I am very, very fortunate that neither one of my Yagis up on my tower were injured. Everything's fine. The wire antennas come off the tower, so they're pretty secure. Not much to go wrong there, but I was very concerned about the two Yagi antennas up there. So yeah, it's been a windy, super windy spring, and now some of these storms have been pretty violent. Last year they were just the opposite. Hardly had anything even approaching violent winds last year, but we got off to a rather auspicious start here, that's for sure. Hopefully things will calm down. Certainly hope so. Al, if you're listening, you were mentioning the bird feeders and how Rosie likes to watch it. We have the same thing here. Our kitty named Patches, she loves to sit by the back door and watch. There's a couple chipmunks that come up on the back step. She watches them all the time, and then she goes over to the other windowsill where the bird feeder is maybe about 5 feet from the window. She watches them and some of the other animals that come down on the ground. We have we live in a pretty rural area here in South Jersey. We have a lot of deer. Just saw a fawn yesterday, and she likes to watch some of the wild turkeys that come around there as well. So she gets to see a lot of different critters here. So that's about it. I don't want to hold it too long. Big net. Bob, good to hear you again. I'm glad you enjoyed the article I sent you, and again, your comments were spot on. If you're still listening, I'm sure I'm missing something. Good luck, Perry, getting that antenna down. Hopefully, it's not too much of a problem. So over to you, Perry. W3 MMR. In the AM carrier net to get it from K2 Fuzzy Wuzzy. 73 is all. Take care.
K2FW in the AM carrier net. This is W3 MMR. Real good, Steve. Well, first off, I want to say thanks to everyone for their condolences about my antenna. I mean, it wasn't, the most expensive antenna. It wasn't a Mosley. It was a Sirio 4-element 10-meter Yagi. Real light, short boom, kind of very compact for 4 elements. But it's withstood some storms, but there's a tree right next to my roof, and I think the wind doesn't normally blow the way these storms came in. Like, they came in from the northwest. The first storm here came in from the northwest, and that's the one on Wednesday, and that's the one that got me, Steve. and the tree, I think, went over and slammed into the Yagi. I mean, like, blew the tree way. I mean, the trees were sideways. There's videos on my YouTube channel. If you go watch them, there's 2 of them on there of both storms. The one approaching and me reacting to seeing it. My Yagi for the first time. And then the other one was the actual storm that was destroying it. So, anyway, lots of check-ins, so I won't keep it long. I got 18 check-ins, Joe. Good morning to Rob and when they left. Big signal down here, Rob. Some of the guys are fading. Jeff was a little light, and happy birthday to you, big guy. We're all staying young. I'm definitely the youngest here, so I shouldn't even talk about birthdays. I'm sorry. And Bob, I had you at 3833.78. So 2 hertz off of what. I'm sorry, I forget who said that. It was I think it was that you, Bruce, who said that? I believe so. Bruce, congratulations on going back out to Vermont. Hope you get up there and have a nice cool summer. It's already been warm here. It was 90 degrees the other day. It's currently 72 here in southeast Pennsylvania. Just on the Anon this morning, the usual setup, and I'm live streaming at the moment on the YouTube channel there. So if you guys want to go check out the recordings there, you can find it. Just search the AM Carrier Net. On YouTube there, I'm sure one of the videos will pop up, and they're all dated too. So, and good morning to you, Nick. Nick, been a while since I heard you. KG2IR, and I think that's all I got. So, and this is my one and done. I got to go mow the lawn today, and because if I wait till Wednesday, my next day off, it's gonna be way too long. So I better do it today while it's nice and cool. So 7-3, guys, have a great day. Everybody stay safe. It's a crazy world out there, man. Seriously, guys, be safe. If you ain't got to be out, don't go out. Christ. And here comes Jerry. And Jerry, you had a great signal in here as well. W1ZB, 7-3, guys, from W3MMR.
Yeah, okay, Jerry. W3MMR, this is W1ZB. Okay, well, good morning, everyone. I'm being about 2.5 here up in the Boston area. So signals are a little bit light on some. Everyone, for the most part, is 2.5. Using the I did experiment a little bit and found that a filter will attenuate those signals and remove those products. I think I've even determined that some of those products I can even pick up on my solid state rig. So that could be a problem when you're located close to AM broadcast transmitter towers. So this past week, for the first time since I was a AAA member, I got to use their service. anybody with marginal batteries will eventually get it to a point where it won't crank over, and it's just because
Jerry, W1ZD, K1LC. Down. A little feedback. Yeah, talking most people okay. The band is really up and down. For example, Joe, when you first came on, I could barely hear you. But then later on in the net here, when you came on, you were right back to your normal strength. And Steve, who's another benchmark down there in New Jersey, 2.5 initially, but when you were making your transmission, it was much weaker. So couldn't copy Andy, but Terry was coming in fine. Jerry, good strong signal. Yeah, maybe could use a few hundred hertz of extra bandwidth there. Other than that, it sounds fine. And my ears. Let's see what's going on here. Anyway, just for information, it's not important information, because you don't really need to be on frequency for AM work. That's not exactly. will get better as summer moves on. Okay, that's about it from here. I'll do the one and done. I'll be listening out throughout the first round, maybe into the second. And if I can get back to the second, we can multitasking at that point. It's questionable. Get back into the basic level. So, with that, I pass it over to the quiet corner of Connecticut, Bill, KB1SH. Take it away, Bill. I don't know if Al wants to jump in or not, but if he does, you might get a little space. KB1SH, this is K1LC, 73 to all. We hope everyone has a good week. Over.
Yeah, go ahead, Al, and then we'll pick up Ross, and there was another station there as well. Go ahead.
No, it was Bob. W1GTH was initially asking to see what his frequency was. Apparently the dials on the ART-13 don't read out exactly in frequency. So once he sets it, it's very stable, but he doesn't know the exact frequency. And my reading was 200 hertz. Not 200 hertz, 2 kilohertz low this week. Last week it was 500 hertz high.
I was across the room, so I wasn't able to make a reading, but generally speaking, if one is using a counter, one should not be talking because the counter confuses the frequency. So that's all I can add. I would trust your reading since you're running the same receiver as I and also Terry is running
Okay, very good, Al. And let's see. Very good, Bud. Excellent. And yeah, I don't have any capacity to make any of those specific measurements, so sounds like Perry had the best read on it, as Al had mentioned. Very good. So let's see. I heard Ross in there, W1EKG, and I believe there was a check-in after Ross. Go ahead. Okay, so I got the Kilo Charlie 1 and then the mic, but I didn't get the rest of the end of it. I apologize. Back to my list to see if there's anything that looks close to that, but I don't think so. So feel free to give me your full call and your name and location, and we'll get you in the rotation here, sir. Okay, very good. Kilo Charlie 1, Mike to Juliet Kilo. Excellent. We've got you. So let's see. I apologize, Maddie. I didn't pull your name right back quickly earlier. So WB2J2C, Maddie, good morning to you. You're going to send it to Ross, W1EKG. And then Ross, W1EKG, is going to send it over to KC1, Mike Juliet Kilo, there in Reading. If there's any other check-ins, sir, we're going to tack them in after you. If not, it'll come back up to the top of the list to me. So, wow, that makes 20 or 21. I think that's 21. It's quite a busy net here, for sure. So let's see. We heard from Bud. So it is going over to Bill in Windham County, Connecticut. KD1SH. This is N1VIV.
by using the synchronous NM detector, which I like doing, it's in operations, it's pumping around a little bit. You get the heterodyne as it's doing its little tracking routine there. So then you start noticing. Otherwise, I think KC even off doesn't do a whole lot of things.
heading to the west on his 100-foot tower at 4 different levels, 40, 60, 80, and 100. And he also has some other antenna work to go on another tower. I'm just hoping that it all got done before the thunderstorm and that there's nothing got damaged in that storm that came across. Like, who was it? Say, sorry to hear you lost that antenna and that terrestrial that came through. And also happy birthday to Jeff. Very good. Well, not a whole bunch else going on here. I did get the doublet up, but I'm using, not the doublet, the double Yakuza, but I'm using the doublet right now. It's a little bit quieter, and it's further away from the house, so that seems to be helpful. It's one of the places, and ALS 600 amplifiers, and power stars, and the remote setup. All my vintage equipment is in the basement, and probably not going to be restored or taken out. I may have to start trimming the inventory here, get rid of some things. I just have too much, and not as much as some of you, but I know I have too much I need to get rid of. And it's other than that, I've got some projects to do today. I've got to finish power washing the deck and the trim out of the yard. I did cut the grass on Friday, I think it was, and got that all out of the way for the weekend. But it grows like, you know, how it goes. And as far as the haircuts with the staying in and not having the ability to have a haircut, that didn't affect me. I don't have any hair, so no problem with the haircuts. All right, well, that's about it. I'm going to turn it on over to, I won't be here. I'll be listening, but I've got some other things I got to do. My wife just came down, time for a cup of coffee and talk to her. So I will turn it on over to KB2NQN. Over to you, Steve, from Whiskey 1 Hotel America Foxtrot.
Yeah, okay, Harrison.
KG2IR in the AM carrier net, N1VIV.
Yeah, okay, Joe. I was looking at the SDR spectrum, and it looked like he just dropped out. And if you're hearing me, Steve, hello to you. Boy, it's been a long time. Yeah, on your way out east, want to stop by? I'm here. We're not going anywhere for quite some time. KB2 NQN. And we'll have the two Corvettes talk to each other for a while. My car has been in kind of a garage clean lately. All kinds of other things going on. Anyway, good morning to you, Joe, and Annette. And I actually got in here by 8:30. Holy mackerel, I got to mark this date down. And happy birthday to Jeff. And good to hear K2FW and everybody else on frequency that I haven't heard in a long time. I was hoping that Dick, W2DAP, would check in. But I guess he's been on, or he hasn't checked in, and he's not going to. It's been a long time. I actually got up early this morning. I had things to do, and I made sure that I got on the net at a reasonable time instead of right at the end or not at all. Well, weather conditions, boy, we had a lot of rain last night. It was over an inch in no time. Almost no wind, so it was like a tropical rain. And there we go. It's about 68 degrees right now here. Winds are light and variable, sometimes up to 8 knots, but mostly light and variable, 2 to 3 knots. Swinging about 300 to 360, which of course is giving us the cooling temperatures with the outside humidity down to 60%. Sky is clear, few clouds at 20,000 feet, and dew point is nice and low, 53 degrees. Barometric pressure is rising nicely. It was 2977, 4 a.m. this morning. Current altimeter is 2985. And like I said, we had quite a bit of rain, a little over an inch, in no time at all. But the nice thing is that it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and the sun rose at 5:22. We'll set at 8:24 at this latitude. And we got just about 7/8, 3/4 of a moon waning. So it's a bright night last night. Boy, the sky was clear and it looked like somebody left the lights on. Yeah. Just wonderful. Nothing new to report, trying to get through all of this, and it looks like we're coming out the other side. That's good news. You know, there's a lot of people gathering in small groups. And even though the reports are that New York is like the epicenter, we really didn't feel it that badly here on Long Island. You know, we've been able to get out to the stores and do things and go places and get the local restaurant to deliver food to us. And we've gone to the requisite home improvement stores like Home Depot and Lowe's and some of the other big stores. And no problems. Walk in, shop, and walk right out again. They're so big and they're not too well populated, so they didn't have to use too many restrictions. For a while there, they did close a couple of the home improvement stores and narrowed it down to one of their branches, and except for pickups, and that created some bottlenecking. But they quickly opened the other stores, so that quickly went away. So it'd be good. I'm really concerned. I'm sure we all are about the people getting back online, able to earn an income with these small businesses. And we try to give as much business to the local establishments as we can. Even been to the hardware store a number of times instead of the home improvement stores, just to shop locally. And it's been quite a trip. We had to make a couple of quick emergency room visits with my wife. She had a kidney stone that she could not pass. She had an emergency procedure, and which she's okay now. Tuesday. It's doing very well. The whole point of the story is that we had to make ourselves available there at the local emergency room. Boy, what a weird, strange thing. Get her out of the car and put her in a wheelchair, wheeled her in, and I got as far as the automatic sliding glass doors. She just disappeared into the inner workings of the hospital. But they took good care of her. They called me on the phone. I called back. I was able to speak to her on the cell phone. We stayed in touch. And the hospital was only about 10 minutes away off the roads. it was easy. I went back home. When I went back to pick her up, I gave her whatever medication treatment I tested. Sent her home, and I went back. I was told to and they did the procedure. So the whole point is that with all that's going on, the hospital handled it very well. The place was not crowded because the COVID-19 cases and people expiring and whatnot is almost down to nothing at the hospital, and it's back to normal as far as that's concerned. So that's a report from here, and what a lot of people has labeled Long Island the epicenter of New York City, which wasn't quite as bad, but thank God for small favors, and we're okay, and lots of people around us are okay. And we're starting to gather, like I say, in small groups, getting together with neighbors and close friends that we know their backgrounds and where they've been and what they're doing. So it's been a tough ride for all of us, I'm sure, especially the first responders like you, Rob, and working to keep things moving so that people could get the required health care and transportation and everything else needed to keep them from going over the edge. But enough of that. We all know what's going on, and hopefully this is the end of it. Nothing much else to report. Conditions aren't that great, so I had some trouble hearing NQN. I'm not sure where you're transmitting from. I don't think you're in Roslyn, but it could be wrong. You may be too close. And maybe one day we'll get together in person before, more years pass by. Who knows? There might even be another Limark Hamfest, which is the local Hamfest here on Long Island, which is a shadow of what it once was, but it's still there. So let me turn this over to Rob, and thanks for letting me in here, Joe. Good group. The great comments. And something else I was going to mention, I didn't write it down, but everything is, Compass Mint is here. Everyone, ALF. And the AM carrier net, KG2IR.
Very good. Good morning, everyone. Oh, speaking of that, there goes our department there. So, yeah, we're off duty today. So, anyway, yeah, thank you, Nick, there. I'm no hero. The heroes are, this is what I do. Heroes are for people that do something out of their ordinary there. But I appreciate it. And, where's hello, Andy? We talked to Andy earlier this last week there, and sorry to hear about Hal's passing. Happy birthday, Jeff. What else is going on? Yeah, Maddie, up river, up the river. And that's Fraser's Point from Kingstown, the prison on Hudson River. They said he's gotten sent up river there, so that was the prison there. But Bill, KD1SH here, my other Connecticut neighbor, and quite a few others here. Carrie, I've known Carrie for about 12 years or so. And when I first heard Carrie on the radio, I dubbed her the Nightbird, the late Allison Steele from WNEW. Jeez. Getting tongue twisted here. 102.7, a great rock and roll FM station, and a great crew of back then. And Nick knows all those people there. So, yeah, she has some voice, and the way she goes on there and handles it, and she's kind of like modest or shy or whatever. And the first time I actually saw a video of her was over at the Alpine Towers there, and that's on YouTube. And she said that was her first time that she got on the radio like that. But great people, her and her husband Ken, and the whole crew. And yeah, apparently Ham Nation had a thing on Ladies' Night also, and they talked about Carrie, which she was unfortunately not able to participate in the Ham Nation event there. But thanks to Carrie. Perry streams that on his YouTube. I stream it on my Facebook page, which I have to get another one there. But so anyway, things are good here. Yeah, cutting the grass. I cut the grass. I walk away after I put the machine away, and it's grown behind me. Should have cut it Friday because it rained like crazy, and then Saturday I had to do a double cut, raise the deck up higher, then drop it down lower, so it didn't make a big mess. But anyway, things are good here. on the home front. Even what's all going on. We have a lot of, I hear a lot that's going on in the state there, so I hear just stuff that's going on, and unbelievable stuff. I had to go to just 2 towns away from here and travel the thruway, and I was looking at every overpass as I approached it, because apparently in a couple of towns here in Connecticut, we're actually throwing rocks and bricks off the overpasses at people down there, blocking up the throughways. An incident in Danbury between exit 4 and 5. They were out there on the throughway blocking it, and some people went up to one car and started hitting on the car and bashing on the roof with a sign, and the person gunned it with the person flying up on the roof and driving down the road, and the young lady's yelling, "Get the license plate, get the license plate." Sorry to say, get the paddy wagon, you all should be arrested. You know, bothering people and blocking a federal interstate for medicine and all kinds of other stuff that has to get through. So, but anyway, we hope this all passes and people will learn your voice is heard a lot louder, not using violence. So let's bless everybody to be safe there and hope everything comes back to normal, whatever that could be from now. So we'll say 73, and when you're left, over to WB2 JCC, Maddie up the river.
Sorry about that. Good morning. I pushed the wrong button. Good to hear everybody today. And, yep, I am about 5 miles north of Sing Sing Prison, up the river on the Hudson. Actually looking out at the Hudson right now from my shack. So good morning to everybody. Had a pretty productive day yesterday. In the rain, did some work around the house, polished the wood floor in my den by hand. That was a task that needed to be done for, a few years, I think. And got that done, did some cooking. And what else did I do? I took apart my computer here. I'm using an old server to run the software for the my Flex 3000. And it's so old that the battery, the BIOS battery died, or was in the process of dying. So took it apart, cleaned it, replaced 2 of the fans that had stopped working, fixed one of them, and got that computer back in shape. It's much happier now than it was before. That's for sure. And watched the lightning strikes with the website I learned about yesterday, real-time lightning maps, and that was pretty cool. Thanks, I think it was Nick or Al who told me about it, and I finally figured out how to get it to be real-time instead of delayed. So that was fun. Today I'm going to be doing some yard work, mostly weeding, because I do not have a lawn. My property here is very heavily wooded, and grass just will not grow. We have gravel in the backyard and landscaped, and there's wood chips and very, very natural-looking landscaping in the front. But the weeds do come in, and I like to get them out. I wish the deer would eat the weeds instead of the hops, which is a constant battle, that's for sure. Talking about licensing. I was first licensed in 75, so I guess that makes me kind of a youngster. I was 16 years old, so that would make it 45 years. I don't have the 65 years that some of you guys do, but the gentleman who licensed me was the father of somebody that I was dating in early high school, and he was nice enough to give me my novice test, and that's where this call comes from. Even though it's listed as a vanity call, I had changed it for a while and changed it back to my original call just for the nostalgia. So I was in Connecticut Friday evening. I had a consulting job at a medical office. I'm a medical physicist, and check the sheets to make sure that they're working right. And one of our clients needed to be checked. They were due, and the good part about that is the office was still closed, so there were no issues with that. And I work full time at a hospital, so I haven't missed a day of work, and sometimes more than that since this whole thing started. Quite gratefully, being able to work there. We have been seeing admissions slowing down quite a bit. It's not zero yet, so we're not quite done, but boy, oh boy, thanks to everybody doing what they're supposed to and wearing their masks and social distancing, it really put a big stop to it here. That's for darn sure. I am a little worried that we're going to see a little bit of a rebound, but that's to be expected, and I think that it'll be able to be well handled. But the good part about going to Connecticut was my partner and I stopped at a local eating establishment and had a socially distanced dinner, which is the first time I've been able to eat in a restaurant or a bar since February. And a week from Wednesday, I'm taking a trip up to Maine. My wife has been in Maine since February. I haven't seen her, and I'm actually bringing her mother up there and relocating her there for the foreseeable future. I will still have to isolate from her and really not see her very much from a distance because she's getting some treatments up there that if she has contact with me, they will not see her for 2 weeks. So I have to be real careful about that. Rules up there. And I am hoping when I get to Maine that I can get a haircut. I needed a haircut when this all started and haven't been able to get one. And now it's back, I would say, halfway between my mid-back and my shoulders in the back. I tend to wear it wrong, in addition to working at the hospital. And so I try and look the part. I have been working on some recordings that I turned my dining room into a recording studio. Recording stuff and kind of set it up, so that's been fun. Signals today have not been very strong, but I've been listening on the SDR, and I see my signal on the SDR is not that great, so maybe I talked too long already. So I'm gonna 7-3 to everybody. Have a safe day. Keep following the rules. I'm gonna turn it over to Ross. 7-3, talk to you later. I'll be listening, so I'm going to stick around for a second round. I'm not sure what else we'll have to talk about. We'll see. W1EKG and the AM carrier net from WB2JCC.
Yeah, you had a great signal in here, Matty, so I imagine Ross was hearing you, but let's see, maybe he might have been across the room. W1EKG in the AM carrier net. This is N1VIB. Well, we had a pretty long round one here, so maybe Ross was needed to go or attend to business or work or family or whatever the case might be. So if you're listening, Ross, have a great Sunday, and if you end up back in here in the round two situation, feel free to jump back in. So I had a chance to pop up QRZ real quick and was able to look up our new check-in. I think there's a new check-in. I guess you may have checked in previously, Doug, but I don't think so. So we've got KC1 MJK, Mike Juliet Kilo, Doug in Reading, Mass. Doug, my name's Joe, Juliet Oscar Echo, and I'm located in Stonington, Connecticut. And this is the AM carrier net we meet every Sunday morning here at 8 a.m. local time, here on 3835. So nice of you to check in. And let's get it right over to you. KC1MJK. I want to make sure I get that right. This is N1VIB. Yeah, okay, Doug. Well, very good. Well, for whatever reason, and I'm not sure if it was on my end, it's possible, I guess. Right toward the end of your transmission, you shifted up about 1.5 to 2 kc very abruptly. So I wonder, it's always possible you might have touched something on the front of the Yaesu rig there, but that's no problem. We're on 3835. And I was still able to hear you. I just tuned the receiver a little bit differently. And just to let you know, while you're not that strong, you're 100% readable there. Q5 copy, Doug, and you're making it with the 25 watts. So at least the conditions between us are favorable for that modest amount of power. But, in different times of the year and in different situations, that 25 watts would likely be enough, especially if you're able to get that antenna up a little bit higher. If you are, then there's a good chance that 25 watts will get the job done in a suitable way. And so it sounds good. I had a chance to peek at your QRZ page a little bit, and certainly welcome to the hobby. And welcome to the AM Carrier Net, and please swing by and join us. I'm not sure if you're able to stay for round 2, but we're going to have a little bit of a informal round 2 here, and you're welcome to stay, but please join us as often as you can there Sunday mornings. And if you can't check in right at 8, it's really no problem. Just jump in when you can, and we'll weave you in there, and you're always welcome to stop by. So very good on everything there, Doug. Excellent. So let's give a quick listen just in case any additional check-ins for the net. Any stations anywhere for the net, please call now. This is N1VIV. Yeah, sure, go ahead. Yeah, no trouble. I just thought I'd mention it that way. If you were coming back for round 2, appreciate it. Yeah, no big deal. Yeah, that's great. No trouble. Great. Very glad to have you on board here, Doug. For sure. Excellent. Very good indeed. And yeah, there's lots of interesting AM operations on various bands. Quite a bit here on 75 meters. And glad you swung by and checked in. That's excellent. So I'm going to just do a loop back to see if maybe Ross is back close to the switch here. W1EKG in the AM Carrier Net. Then 1VI. Okay, well, nothing heard. So if Ross, if you end up back near the switch, please jump back in, and we'll take a crack at round 2. Well, I just want to make a few comments. Of course, if Jeff is still listening, although I know it's quite a long round 1 here, happy birthday to you, Jeff. And I like the idea of switching your birthday for your licensing date. I got licensed in my late 20s, so that would be a great advantage for me, but I don't know if I can get away with that one. Most of the folks who maybe got licensed in their teens, that's maybe a better match, which many folks here did first get licensed. But in any case, Jeff, happy birthday to you. And Bruce, safe travels to Vermont. We're looking forward to hearing you back from the North Country. And that'll be really interesting. Oh, and I thought it was really sweet that Rosie was wanting you to not stop the transmission. She was blocking your unkeying opportunity there. She wants you to keep transmitting. Although I didn't hear her make any comments today. I'm glad to hear that she's in the shack, the mascot here of the AM Carrier Net. Rosie, the kitty cat, that is. And let's see, other comments. Oh, I just wanted to comment quickly. Maddie, I'm a musician as well, and I know what you're saying. My hair started out very long at the beginning of this whole COVID thing, and now it's, can I tuck it in the back? Almost. It's like 3/4 of the way down my back. I'm originally a bass player, but now in the past 7 to 10 years, more of a guitar player, singer. So that's kind of my story. I play bass a little bit, but mainly in this group that we've got going, I play guitar and do most of the singing. So very interesting on turning your dining room into a studio, and I hope that your trip to Maine goes well. It's very interesting traveling from state to state and knowing what all the rules are. But I imagine in your business going both ways, both with regard to your wife and then also with regard to your work at the hospital there, kind of monitoring and being cautious about who you have contact with is probably pretty important. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I guess if you come back for a round two there, man, you know what your music interests are. Most of my stuff, being in my mid-50s, is classic rock stuff from the late 60s and 70s. We do a little bit more modern stuff on occasion, but mostly stuff from that classic rock. So, let's see. I didn't have any additional check-ins, so let's take a shot at round two. Everybody made pretty good comments. I'll just do a controlled walk through the list here. So when folks are done with their transmission, you can just send it back to me, and I'll check for the next station and see what we have. So Al, you're the first person. W1VTP, and then the AM carrying it round two. This is N1VID.
Yeah, let's see if I have it. I guess I do. Yeah, that's from across the room, of course. Coming out of my greatest flow, motion, walking and sitting out of the recliner. And we need to monitor frequency of the counter. And the counter cannot handle audio components and do an accurate measurement of the frequency. So if you're going to measure the frequency, don't say anything. Look at the frequency, then ignore the counter from that point on. It doesn't make it a good standard. I've often thought about putting a GPS time base on the 1500s, but it's not bothered yet. I've got a friend of mine who's done that, and if I do decide to do it, I will check with him. Let's see if I can upgrade this to 1500. It's been a really great receiver. It's probably on the list of the Sherwood engineering list. The place is relatively pretty good with the boulders and receivers. I like it because it's compact and it does give really good performance. Right now I've been using TA. So it's doing a nice job of covering the propagation that we have this morning. So that's all I have. And I'll have to admit that I have not been getting enough sleep. So that makes me a little bit drowsy during the daytime. So something exciting is happening. Nothing derogatory about the comments this morning. But unless I'm putting out a fire, I'm pretty much semi-comical. So, getting my Grand Caravan slowly up to the I should do is take it to somebody that specializes in alloy wheels and get the wheels fitted out there. That's the only problem with alloy wheels when it comes to that's another project. Sure money. Or should I say it's one classic. Anyway, I guess I'll pass it back to Mr. Phillips.
Yeah, okay, Al. Very good. Well, still incredibly robust signal. From Manchester. Checking things here real quick. I think that all looks okay. Well, very good on the little upgrades for the van. That's always kind of nice. You can get it running the way you want. Accessories, tires, wheels, maybe essentials, stuff. Good. I hope this provides many years of service to your van. So that's great. It's sorry to hear you're not maybe getting as much sleep as you'd like. That's a tough thing. I've had some cycles where that's my condition. I have actually been working on a sleep apnea problem for the past year and a half with very good results. Boy, I'll tell you, previous to this, it was getting worse and worse and worse. Since I've been on the CPAP machine, boy, it's a real life changer from a rest and functionality. It's unbelievable. And so there are occasions where I inadvertently pull the mask off. It happens at like 2 a.m. and I go long into the night without benefit. It's definitely welcome. Anyway, that's just my I hope that you're getting rest and everything like that. So I don't think Bob was staying here, but I'll do a check real quick just in case I don't have any comments from him on with regard to this. The W1GTH, if you're there, Bob. This is N1VIV. Okay, and the next on the list, I'm not sure if I didn't make note of any comments, was Bruce. WX10, if you're there, Bruce, go ahead. This is N1VIV. Okay, then we've got the next group or so definitely noted as checked out. So we go down to Bud. If Bud might still be in, I'm not sure. He said he may be here, maybe not. Let's see, K1LC. This is N1VIV.
right now I'm running the Ranger. I'm kind of thinking that maybe for next week I will make a change over to the DX60. My regular off-roader is just the DX60. That I recast and get all spruced up, and I put the speed mods, the QIX mods into it. We had a little bit on the AM phone forum about a nice mod for the DX60 to eliminate the control carrier. And it seems to work quite well. I think maybe next week, next DX60. And Chris, I'm very happy with the at this point. Because now I have any of those issues up here in this part. Hopefully be done. I certainly don't want anything to think that I'm trying to inject all these things are not going to be once in a while, it's something I need to do. I can't help but feel that Martin Luther King devoted his life to a cause that he sincerely believed in. Would be rolling over in his grave right now. What people are doing in the name of his cause. Violence and burning and looting.
Yeah, very good, Bill. KD1SH, this is N1VIV, and round 2 of the AM carrier net. Well, it's very interesting that you mentioned the Escort, because I had an Escort of that build. I think it's a 94 or 95. I don't remember. I think it probably had the cheaper version of the plastic. At least my vague recollection of it. I only had the car for a couple of years, and it did circle pretty well. And it was like a 94, 95 Escort. So it's just, I find it very interesting that Ford's effort, and I'm not picking on Ford, anything like that, but Ford's effort to offer a premium product, like kind of fancy looking alloy wheels, led to kind of a chronic problem that inhibited this basic functionality. But
they could have been aftermarket, like you said. Really not the best clock. I'm realizing my son's got to go to work at 11, so I'm going to need to get out here fairly soon. But let's see if we can jog through whoever else might still be here. Harrison said he was checking out. Great to hear you, sir. Great. Let me enjoy that walk. Such Indian state. Unfortunately, I did not hear Steve KBC NQN transition at all. Apologize, Steve. He's still there. Let's give it another try if you like. I didn't hear what you were saying to John, but I'll give a listen real quick. KBC NQN, then 1VIV. Okay, hang on 1 second. Let me just go through for Steve. KBC NQN, are you there, Steve? No, I didn't think so. So we've got a check-in there. Go ahead, sir. Yeah, okay, no trouble. Well, let's, I'm not sure who else is left here, to be honest, but you can give it a try. Well, maybe I'll send him a text first. Maybe he's already awake. So let me see. Let me just check and see. Well, it doesn't really matter. Let's leave you in here, Art. No trouble. I remember, yes, we talked before. Go ahead with comments, and then we may still have Nick here, possibly Rob, maybe Maddie. I'll stay as long as I can, but I may need to run. We'll have to see. This has been quite a protracted net. Sure, we're at 2 hours now. No trouble. So NF1A. And you can flip it back to me. This is N1VIV.
Super 6, Doug, are you still in here? Rick? Al, CTC, are you still there? Well, okay. Well, I wanted to congratulate Doug for getting on A7 Club. I heard him on the 7 Club. Congratulations.
they look awful, and there's not much I can do about it. Wait, I'm not going to try. The car's 11 years old. I'm going to drive it. It's Volkswagen Golf TDI. I'm going to drive it until it won't go. It won't pass emissions level. It's got 200 and something thousand on it. Keeps going. I'm not worried so much about how it looks. But yeah, if I had a newer car, I'd be attentive to that for sure. This is very basic mode of transportation. Very efficient. Normal transport. COVID will be in the future. Getting round trip on basically an eighth of a tank, is pretty amazing. So, very economical. So I did not hear Steve in there. We weaved Art in. That's great. Let's see if Nick's still around. KG2IR. And round 2 of the AM carrier at N1VIV. Okay, nothing from Nick. Let's see. Maybe Rob may have stayed. I'm not sure. N1ALF if you did.
Yeah, we're still here. Sorry about that. I got somebody in the neighborhood running something. Almost looks like a plasma TV. I got rid of my plasma TV. So, yeah. So far, like I said, everything's good. We're going to go out and finish the rest of the part of the grass. We had the grandchildren here yesterday, so we did the big back part. And, yes, I'm not a musician anymore. I learned to play banjo, actually, now. I was a drummer for a while. Picked up bass a little bit. Enjoy that. But we're trying to handle banjo there. I think semi-retirement, not working so well. I find myself working more than I did when I was working. I think I want to go back to work and get a break. Especially now the other half's home 2 days out of the week. She works for the town hall here, so she's an essential. She's a town clerk, so filing death certificates and all stuff like that with the lawyers and some certain things. So now our toilet paper is used for her honey-do list, and it's getting longer and longer, so I'm trying to social distance from her more, because every time I see her, she goes, "Can you fix this?" And I'm not even finished fixing something. She's on her way fixing something else. But they always said, women, you look at a woman, and you look at their face, they could not be talking something, but you can see the wheels turning all the time. Their mind is always going. And then you look over at the guy there, and you look at the expression on his face, and it's blank, and she'll ask him, "What are you thinking of?" "Nothing." No, but that's... But yeah, the signals are kind of going in and out there. But all right, we'll cut out of here. Everyone have a good, safe rest of the Sunday there, and hopefully things will start opening up. I've been to Home Depot quite a bit. One of the ones, I have one that's just right down across the state lines here. It's not too bad. Then I go to another one that's another town away, and it's mobbed. And they're counting people as they go in. And people have been very respectful as your distance. But I hear people complaining, Walmart's open, Home Depot's open, Lowe's open. Why can't a restaurant be open? Well, in a restaurant, you're sitting a lot more closer to people. You're more in a confined space. If you look at Walmart and Home Depot, it's open and people are staying their distance. So, and I thank you for those people at Essentials there that are open. Also, because there's a lot of things that I have to go to get fixed or whatever, or pick up. And if they weren't opened, and like I said, I go to my local Stop and Shop down the street here, and I thank every one of the people that are working there, the checkout people, the stock people. Thank you very much for being here, because we wouldn't have these things. So, 7-3s, everyone. Be safe. Lou said to say hello, Joe. He has a couple more Kenwood TL922As, so if anybody's looking for a good amplifier, he's got a couple sitting up at the house there. And when he left, I don't know if it goes back over to Maddie, if you're still there. WB2JCC up the river, and when he left.
Oh, I'm still here. And Let me just make sure Joe didn't need to interject.
Rob, I don't know, did you participate in, did you and your wife participate in the ladies' night? Was it last night on 3885?
No, we didn't participate. My leggings are on the clothesline and my dress is at the cleaner. No, that's what I told Gary last night. No, she knows everybody from the AM group there. She hears everybody there, and you know, she makes comments in the background. To people, but and she knows. Well, Clark is my neighbor, one of my best friends there, and one BCG, so he's here quite often. So she knows the radio very well. Now she has no interest. I says, come on down, sit here. You know, you can, you know, because she can talk under my call sign. So it's like, you know, a lot of people think, well, no, you know, as long as she's a, you know, there's a licensed operator at the helm, they can talk. I said, you know, you can get on the radio and talk with the ladies because you know everybody. Carrie, not Shelby. What's Shelby's? I forget Shelby's wife there. So there's, you know, Carrie, what you call K3FEF wife, Tanya, which I can't remember her call sign. She's on KB3WFE, Brian down in Maryland, Lisa, and Shelby's wife. I think they're in Virginia somewhere, and. They get on, and it's fun listening to, and they'll be on again in another 2 weeks. But now Lynn has no interest really too much in the radio. You know, that's why it's not a problem being down here. She goes, you know, when I go upstairs, she goes, you know, sitting in the television room. She goes, what are you doing up here? Is your radio broken? If it is, get Clark over there to fix it. Go back downstairs. So I got that going for me. No, Joe, we weren't.
Okay, yeah, no, I was just curious. I've been kind of gently, slowly starting to try to see if I can recruit my wife. Her name's Doreen, but she goes by Dodie, D-O-D-E, for short. And so what's is it like a particular Saturday of the month, and what's the time?
Yeah, well, this was this Saturday, so it'll be. Another 2 weeks from this Saturday. I think it kicks off about 7 o'clock or so. So another. So it was the 6th. So I guess it'd be on the 20th of June there. And I think it kicks off about 7 o'clock there, Joe.
Yeah. Okay. Very interesting. It sounds like maybe the first and third. You know, I listen a lot. I don't sign in on talk there. Oh, and Rob, did you say did you work in broadcasting? Is that right?
No, I didn't. Clark comes from broadcasting, N1BCG. No. My communication ties are from, you know, being on the CB and, you know, and handling the radio and emergency operations there. So I'm very used to, you know, talking on the radio. And when my ex-wife said I had the gift of gab there, so I have no problem in talking to anybody. I'm not shy to go up and talk to anybody. But no broadcasting background. The only thing I have from that is learning from Clark.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, no, I was curious. Does Terry have a broadcast?
All right, so the bands are going, you took a selective fade there. No, she doesn't. She has none there. And go on YouTube and type in her call signs, KC2, you know, KC2 UFU. And that's not a vanity call. That is an FCC thing there that she was assigned there. And a lot of people is that a vanity? No, KC2 UFU. It's funny way she said. She's a card. Let me tell you, she is something else here. But like, as I said, when I first heard her, when Clark introduced me to the group of over 12 years ago, to the AM portion of, we were on 875 at that time, and now a lot of us are at 885 there in 75 meters. And when I first talked to her, you know, and introduced her to her, I said, you know, you sound just like, you remind me of Alison Steele, the knifer, which I sat up every single night to listen to her. You know, I couldn't wait till she got on, and many recordings down here. But she got that voice, and I dubbed her as Mom, because you know the AM portion of the band is better. They call it the ghetto and stuff like that. You know, we're you know, no ties required, no shoes. You know, everybody's laid back. And we all the boys, as she would say, we were joking around. All of a sudden, I hear Carrie key up. I go, shh, quiet, Mom's on the air.
Yeah, no, absolutely. She kind of has that presence. So that's very funny. Yeah, very good. Well, that's great. I know I've talked to her. I think when she was at the helm of a W1AW event, I had checked in one time. So I've talked to her on a couple of occasions. But yeah, very good. Well, thanks, Rob. Thanks for the clarification. I maybe just missed the reference there to the broadcaster that she sounds like. I've got it. Excellent. Very good. I know Maddie's still in there, so apologies on holding you off there, Maddie. And I'm good for about another 10 minutes. I'm sure. No rush. We'll be fine. Doug may still be here. Ross may come back, but then after that, we've got to run. WB2JCC, floating on the Hudson, up the river, so to speak. Take it away. This is N1VIV.
N1VIV and the group, WB2JCC. Well, the signals are getting a little weak. I'm going to keep it somewhat short. First, if Jeff is still out there listening, I forgot to say happy birthday earlier. And Joe, you asked me before about what I do. So I'm primarily a woodwind player. My primary instrument is, my favorite instrument, I should say, is clarinet. I've been playing that since I was like 7 years old. But I play all the saxophones. I have everything from soprano to baritone. I don't have a bass saxophone, so maybe not all the saxophones. So I played in an orchestra, and I played clarinet in the orchestra. The majority of playing out is Jewish music. I play in a klezmer band, and I teach klezmer music to kids and adults in a program with a very close friend of mine. And in that klezmer band, I played bass, and I played banjo, and I played accordion. In fact, I have an accordion, and I have a banjo. So in order to complete the trifecta of the world's most annoying instruments, I would need to get a set of bagpipes, and that's actually an ancient Syrian instrument. Its origins go back to when they used to make it out of hides, animal hides. Kind of interesting. I just learned that last week. But primarily, I'm a woodwind player. The other instruments like piano and guitar and bass and harp. I built a harp, a lap harp. It's not a full-size harp, but I play those things just for pure fun. And I have been doing a bit of recording in the lockdown. I have a Tascam DPO2, which is a small digital recorder, multi-track, and it's been a lot of fun to get out all my instruments and leave them out so that they're totally accessible, except for the clarinets, which I always put away because of course they're wood. And I also do a little bit of rock music. I've had the absolute gift of playing with some fabulous musicians. The keyboard player from the Rippingtons and one of the drummers from Spyro Gyra. We crossed paths through a mutual person, and Hal Prince's son, the music publisher. His kid is local kid. He's my age. He's probably 60 by now. But we get together and we do a couple of special things. a couple times a year, and holy cow, that's been a real gift. I feel like whenever we get together, I'm hanging on the edge of a cliff with my fingertips trying to keep up. These guys are just fabulous musicians. So that's what I'm doing with the music. Keeps me sane, and I just love playing. That's my primary employment, and medical physics and working in the hospital is my day job. Luckily, I love that too, almost as much. So that's a lot of fun. It's not that different than ham radio, and I use a lot of my ham radio knowledge, things that I picked up over the years in my day job. For example, like MRI is all RF and magnetic fields and things like that. So anyway, I'll keep it kind of short because the signals are going. I did listen to Ladies' Night, one last thing, last night. I did monitor that, and it was really very good. Very entertaining, and always learn something new. So, Joe, let me turn it back to you. And Rob, if you're still listening, kudos for picking up the banjo. Not that easy to play. That's what I have found. It is not that easy to play, but I do like it. I do like playing it because it is a good challenge for me. Anyway, back to you, Joe, and the group, N1VIV, WB2JCC. Have a good day, everybody. I'm going to listen out here.
Yeah, very good, man. Wow, thanks for all those updates. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, we take all that. We've been to the group next week if you like. There's a lot of folks who have much more in-depth diagnostic capabilities here on the net than I do. But my email is my call, N1VIV, at SBC Global, that's Sierra Bravo Charlie Global.net. So my call at sbcglobal.net. But if you just want to go to QRZ, you can find it there, Doug. actually the transmitter I'm talking on right now. So that's the home use transmitter. It's a single 6146, modulated by a hand audio transformer. It's kind of modeled after a novel CW rig out of the 1959 ARRI. Okay, so I'm very happy with the results of it. You know, I have kind of fallen out of this, but But other than that, I haven't been sending too many cards. But if you want to send me one, it would probably be a reminder that I can certainly try to send you one back. Okay, Doug. Well, again, the conditions are really getting tough here. Very good. Feel free to send me an email, and I'll do my best to respond amongst all the other priorities. But really glad that you checked in today. And please check in as often as you can. It's very nice to be a regular here in Carriganet. You're absolutely welcome. Look forward to hearing from you again. I've got to run out of here, guys, because the day is calling. I've got a lot of things to do. Texting a few folks on critical matters. Have a great Sunday, 7-3 all the way around. IV. This is the conclusion of the Carriganet. And so this is N1VIV, turning the frequency back to standard amateur use. N1VIV, thanks everyone. Have a great Sunday, 7-3. Okay, I'm just going to jump in real quick. Thanks so much, Al. Let me make sure I've got it. Yeah, very good. I'm certain that Doug is hearing you. I'd be surprised if not. That would be a shock. And I was only going to say, Al, thanks so much for your comments. I appreciate it. And yeah, really fun match. Really, 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 35 minutes later, plus the pre-match, so it's well over. That's great. That's pretty amazing. 21 or 22 seconds apart. It would be 22. So, yeah, very nice indeed. Yeah, I was actually going to encourage to contact the technical noise questionnaire, so I think you'd be the best resource for him. But I didn't want to recruit you for the job, but it sounds like you were offering yourself, so that's that might be good. So if you're sending something out, Doug, with regard to noise issues you have, I suspect Al could, in a more quickly way, start to do that. I'm happy to do it, but I think Al is probably the guy with the expertise. Would probably be better suited to help you troubleshoot that. But again, I'm happy to give a listen, but I would include Al in the email. I'm sure he could offer some thoughts. All right, got to run, guys. 7-3, and thanks very much, Al. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Who knows, maybe we'll hear you, talk to you on Vermont sometime. I'm sure I'll cut you in there. 7-3, I'm one to be on. Yeah, just see me. Yeah, excellent. That sounds good. I'll keep Thursday night in mind as well. Monday night's going to be a little easier for me, but either way, we'll get in there sometime. Thanks, Al. Take care.
Suffix, but I don't write very fast. KC1MJK, is that it? Yes, kind of, sort of. I mean, it's still marginal, but putting that antenna tuner in does make a difference. Pardon my old chair. Oh, you know my name, are AR wannabes. I don't think they're really AR speakers. They're a copy of an AR speaker. They're handsome. They're very handsome. They do suffer in the low end, but that's usually cured by using a subwoofer. They are great speakers. Nice speakers in the computer. shoulder out Joe as far as the source of information. So just why don't you go ahead with the original plans to send an email to Joe and his CC